All right, good morning, goeiemorgen. And to Sean, away Sean. Guys and girls, we're just waiting for Shauna to join us here on camera. She is ready, she's waiting for us on the other side. So, somewhere this morning we've got this little technical hitch, but nothing big. So let's see what's happening. This morning we'd be talking to a deputy principal, the same one they talked to last time. And it's all about schools and what's happening at schools. And she had still had a lot to say last time, and we didn't get through that. That half an hour was just not long enough for her to tell us the whole story regarding schools. There's a lot of other things and a lot of other information that we all feel that you guys need to know. So, and we're just waiting for her to join us here. So let me just send her another message. And yeah, perhaps she will join us here. I don't know why we have a bit of trouble this morning with that. Yeah, Sean, the wife did my hair this morning, so that's why I'm looking so good. But I need a haircut. I've been a police officer for about something like 8 years, and as soon as the hair touches the ears, it just doesn't work for me anymore. So, but I'll have to speak to Tanny Shirley. She's my local hairdresser down there in Tauranga, and yep, she forgot to make me another appointment the other day, so I'll have to phone her and get something done with this hair. Guys and girls, while we're waiting for Shauna, I'll probably tell you who I am if you don't know already. Name is Viljoen, all the way from Welcome Bay in Tauranga, and this morning was a lovely 15 degrees, not 15 degrees cold, it's actually 15 degrees hot. I've been to Rotorua, to you guys who saw the pictures and the videos yesterday. It was quite hot there. We ended up at about 30 degrees Celsius yesterday at Rotorua, and Rotorua being fondly called the stinky town by the locals because of the sulfur smell there. It actually got a bit hotter, I think, than the 30 degrees, because as soon as you walk between the thermal activities there, and there's a lot of thermal activities, that heat and steam just hits you and just takes it to a different level. So, all right, I'm struggling to get Shauna on here. Shauna, I don't know what's happening. I can't see that you've joined us at all. So, let me try this again. Now she's still being invited. I see Shauna's watching us, but I can't seem to be able to. I don't know if Facebook changed the settings on this, but I can't seem to be able to invite actually anybody on video this morning. This is quite weird. Quite weird. I don't know why this would be. Yeah, I see Shauna says she is there. But Shauna, we've sent the request to you. I don't know why. I can't seem to get anybody else on video. I don't know if Facebook has changed the settings again. Facebook love to play all these dirty games with us. So in the past, you just had to press a button here. Now I can only press wave. I'll wave to him and Mayor, but yep, that's as far we can go. All right, guys and girls, sorry about that. Shauna, I think we'll try this again on a different date. But let's go on this morning, and I don't know if the functionality will come back to us. Strangely enough, I don't know why this has happened. So, first time ever that Facebook doesn't allow us to get anybody on there. Let me just see. Shauna asked me to request again. Let me see that. They're still invited, Shauna. There's nothing we can do from this side. Absolutely nothing. Sorry about that. All right, guys and girls, let's go on. A few things has reached the news this past week. We had a hostage situation here in Tauranga, and the police eventually had to intervene after about 15 hours. And they stormed the house and they killed the guy that was holding his kids hostage. So that was some of the main news that made the island shudder a bit, because that type of things doesn't happen in New Zealand. On the other front, it's starting to become summer now, and you can feel it in the air, and the people are coming out of their shells. This is a strange thing with the Kiwis. They call winter, they call it bear time now. But now The reason why they call it bear time is because you come from work, you go back into your cave and you close the doors and you sleep until the next morning. So bear time is over now for us on the islands, and but I hear in the South Island still not that hot yet. So summertime is here on this little the video that you just saw before we switched over to me over the lakes here. In summertime there's heaps of people on jet skis, and you can see them starting to come out of the shells now. So yeah, that's one of those things that happen in summertime. People come out to play, and jet ski is a big thing in New Zealand as well as a boat. So to the guys out there, you can at long tell your wife to get yourself ready to buy the boat. My wife is still not ready for me to buy the boat, but that'll soon happen. I just need to buy a house first. All right. For one another reason, sadly, Shauna could not join us this morning, and I cannot get anybody else on here this morning. So, all right. Let's see if there's a few questions from you guys, except for schools. Anybody else got some questions out there? Let's see if we can answer some of these questions. We had a few talks this week as well with people in the car trade. That was quite interesting. The car trade is changing next year. There's some new rules and regulations coming in, which will take some of the older cars, or will take the older cars that are currently imported from Japan, will take that out of the mix. So keep that in mind. I think by March or something next year, the law is going to change that all cars must have an anti-sway device in, which is only basically on cars 2015 and upwards. So a bit of a feeling from government to make the roads a bit safer out here. They luckily have not lowered the speed limit as they wanted to do. They actually wanted to take the speed limit down from 50 to 30 in most places. So that was something that was big on the cards there, and yep, it didn't happen, luckily not. Justine Joyce Orcus asking, nice place to stay in Rotorua. Yeah, Rotorua is about 40 minutes drive from me. So, and Rotorua is in the middle of the island. A lot of thermal activity in Rotorua, so it's quite a nice place to go out there. To give you a few ideas about Rotorua, it's very, very tourist orientated, to be quite frank. Rotorua is probably the airport after Auckland that gets the most visitors there. They've got the redwoods. Point one, this is real American redwoods, massive trees, and then they've got to walk amongst the redwoods at the bottom, and you also got to walk in between the leaves. So if you, for a small fee, you can pay that, and then you can walk amongst the leaves of the redwoods. Then Rotorua's got a heap of lakes, tons of lakes stocked with trout, and real big trout. We've actually yesterday organized to go out on the lakes, but that'll only be next year, and to do a bit of trout fishing there. I'll give you guys some info once we've been there. As you know, I don't fish at all, so I'll go and have a look and see what's that all about. And then on the other side of Rotorua, you got the little mountain. They got the Lugis little cars coming down there. You got they've got a gondola going up there. You've got tons of stuff to do in Rotorua, except the thermal activities. You've got about 2-3 different Maori villages there that allows you to come and visit them and take you through it all for fee, naturally. So yeah, that's Rotorua, but lots of places to stay there. I just saw somebody ask about the struggle for jobs. The guy I spoke to yesterday, let's be quite frank on that, he was here 2 days, he got a job. Somebody in my house here arrived on Sunday night, and by, I think it's Tuesday morning, she had her first job offer on paper. So that still does happen. It's all the way that you prepare yourself coming over. On the other hand, I know of people that have arrived here and 9 months down the line, they still haven't got a job offer. Some people have been here for 6 months, haven't got a job offer. Sometimes people are just trying too hard. When this is the one thing, trying too hard, looking too desperate. The other side around is people doesn't have the transferable skills, or don't use their transferable skills. That's the other thing as well. Let's talk about transferable skills. If you've done something in South Africa and you were a manager there, the chances of you being a manager this side won't probably happen. You'll probably have just to start a step below, give them a chance to check you out, and then thereafter give them the reason to appoint you as a manager. So that's a bit about jobs out here. But the job market is very much alive, and I think the job market will stay alive for quite a long while still. It's just becoming a bit more difficult to get into the job market for the first time. Samantha asking, what's a typical weekly salary to survive on for a family of four? Samantha, depending if you're living out of Auckland, I would say out of Auckland, you can scrape by on roughly $1,000 a week. You can do basically your rental is about $500, $550. You can eat for $200 and less, so that's about $750, and then a bit of petrol, bit of insurance, and that's about where you are. So let's see what other questions was there. All right, I see Shauna's answering some of the questions for us. Thanks, Shauna, on the school side. Sean Lange, looks like you're looking for retailers in New Zealand. There's quite a few of them. They love to employ Kiwis. That's the first thing. But if you've got a specific skill, a skill like butcher, sometimes warehouse managers. Let me just think. The South Africans have been appointed now the last few weeks. Butchers was a big thing. Warehouse managers, head of logistics. But that doesn't happen often, so that's not a thing that I can say it happens every day. But butchers do get appointed quite often. In Tauranga, only here I can think about 3-4 South African butchers working around the area. So there could be more that I don't even know of now. I only know the 4. So what about in the IT industry? How's the job market there? This comes from Sonia van Rooyen. Sonia, the IT industry is a dark hole for me. There's a lot of stuff there and a lot of different jobs there. There's a lot of different things. People talk about front and back end, and it can make it sound very, very ugly at the end of the day. But yeah, it's all depending on what you are doing. Some of the bigger companies is in New Zealand. Some of the bigger companies is hiring in New Zealand, and a lot of them is already accredited. So that's also a big thing. A lot of these big companies that's really hiring and it's got massive IT staff, they are fully accredited. They're so ready. If you are ready and you've got the skills for that specific job that they apply or that they're advertising, I cannot see why you won't get that. So let's keep that in mind. This week we advertised for some mechanics, heavy duty mechanics. We got a lot of CVs. We got a lot of good CVs. They'll all get some attention this morning, and then we got a lot of bad CVs as well. People applying for anything. I've seen bookkeepers, people who hasn't done anything mechanically at all. Even they applied. Guys, this type of thing it's really stuffing up the market as well. So keep in mind, apply for what you can do and apply what the position is for. Don't just take a chance. Nobody's going to take a chance. I'm not going to employ a bookkeeper in the place of a mechanic. I mean, and nobody else is going to do that. Let's see, there's a question here from Kerry Selby. Husband did a medical today. We're moving to Christchurch. If visa is granted, what's the public transport like there? Hoping we can survive without a car for a while. Public transport in New Zealand overall is quite good. I don't know Christchurch specifically, but everywhere in New Zealand there is buses. Even in the smallest town, you go to bus. Inga Boot is asking about trades. Trades is the guys that get the easy jobs, or more easier jobs. So if you got everything ready and you are that is your trade, don't come in and say, oh yeah, I've done woodwork in matric but that was 20 years ago. That's not going to make you a carpenter, just by the way. So keep that in mind. Apply to what you know now. In New Zealand, they're very much about the fact that you've got experience in that. Even if it's something where you don't need, let's say you don't need a specific degree or qualification for that, but you've got years of experience in that field, you're probably still able to find that job there. Shemaine asking jobs in finance. Shemaine, they are available, but they're not that easily filled by South Africans. I think the other side of the coin is if you are here and they can see you face to face, probably total different ball game. So Shemaine asking, thanks Sean is answering that question for us there. Jobs in finance, there's all the big banks is here in New Zealand, and most of them are Aussie banks. So that is something to keep in mind. If you are applying at a bank as well, they would want banking experience. They would want you to have relevant experience. They would want you to be more than what they can just get a Kiwi to do the job on that side. Eloise van der Walt asking, what about medical receptionist? That is quite. Every doctor's got 2 or 3 of them sitting around there. But the thing is there, once again, if you come through on, let's say, your hubby's visa, and you have got an open visa, it's quite easy to get that type of job. Keep this in mind as well. To those of you that are married or have got partners, you come with a partner, and the partner finds the visa, so he or she is the anchor person there, then you will probably get an open visa. Don't quote me on this, I'm not an immigration advisor, but you'll probably get an open visa. And that open visa is widely accepted here, really, really widely accepted. One of our family that's also joined us now in New Zealand, she had 2 job offers in her first week here. She was still jet lagged when she got the 2 job offers. She actually took the other one, and is now she's already done the travel agent thing, but she came on an open visa, so there was no worries about the company had to be accredited or anything like that. So that's a good thing. Inga Butt is asking, are there a lot of mines? This is one thing New Zealand do not have. Alright, we do not have a lot of mines. I actually drove past a very, very small mine, but it's more like a quarry yesterday, doing one another stone. We do not have gold mines down in Queenstown. You could probably mine gold there. I've heard of some people that went down and mined gold, but that was in the stream there. We had a gold or another mine, I can't remember the mine's name, but they closed that down now. There was an accident there quite a few years ago, so they closed the mine down after that. But not a lot of other mines down here. We are mostly sheep, milk, Fonterra, these guys, and then the building industry. The building industry, and as Mari now would ask, kitchen designers, are they work in this? Yep, I just spoke to somebody about 3 weeks ago that got the job as a kitchen designer, but she also came on her husband's visa. So if you can go around that way, you'll probably find it easier to get in and get a job on the side. Lisa K asking, are Kiwis open to hiring South African sales reps? Would be under an open visa. If you are under an open visa, that'll be no problem. It takes a bit more to hire a sales rep from South Africa if you aren't on an open visa. They've got to prove a lot of things. They've got to prove that the position was advertised for a period of time, that the candidates wasn't suitable, that you could not find a Kiwi to do that. And the Kiwis are quite open to hiring South Africans. No issues on that. You just got to check out and see that you get the salary that you are worth here. So I explained to you a while back on salaries and how to see what you are worth and what you need to ask for them. So that's the one thing. Let's see. Shauna's answering some more questions. And thank you, Shauna. You're still a star out there, so we couldn't get you on camera this morning. I don't know for what reason. Facebook has gone crazy again, but we'll have to find this out. The problem is you only find this out once you are live. So guys and girls, let's see if there's any other questions. The last, I would say, 2 weeks, a lot of people have been suffering from sinus in New Zealand, and although it's blooming time now and the flowers are in full bloom and it's looking beautiful and everything is refreshing themselves here on the Green Island, the smoke from the Australian bushfires have reached us. And if you look out of my window, I'll show you guys again once we've finished talking in about 8 minutes time, then you can have a look and see the haze that is hanging over New Zealand. That is the forest fires from Australia that has reached us now. So I do believe a lot of the sinus problems that the people have been having now these past week or so is all related to the forest fires down in Australia. And sadly enough, I don't know if you saw the woman who pulled off her top to save a koala. That koala died, I think, yesterday. He actually even had a name at the end of the day, but sadly enough, he could not be saved. Inga asking, is it easier to get an open visa rather than a worker's visa? Inga, as far as I understand the law, and that's only my understanding, an open visa is when your partner gets a visa and you come with him or her on on their visa, then they will give you an open visa for work. So that allows you to work in New Zealand anywhere, anytime, any position. So that's the other way around. We had a guy come visit us about a year ago. His family is just now settled into New Zealand, and he was looking for a job. He was really looking for a job. He traveled the whole of New Zealand, couldn't find anything, until we found out that his wife was a hairdresser, and she easily got a job. I promise you, she easily got a job. I think the first place where she applied, she got the job, and thereafter he came on her open visa, and he's doing what he's loving to do, and that is something in IT, which he couldn't find a job for because they were not willing to give him a visa for that. So yeah, keep that in mind. That's just something, and I won't say a different way around it, but that is something that could open the door for you. Where can I change my drivers over to New Zealand type in January? Are they open then? That's from Suran Manu. I hope I pronounced that correct. The AA, they do that for you. I think they work between 8 and 5, open basically every day except public holidays. So for those looking for work on talent visa, are you finding the new minimum salary requirements of 79, is it attainable? Are the companies willing to pay that salary? That comes from Rocky Jacob. Rocky, I want to answer that. I want to say no. I want you to go back about 3-4 weeks when myself and Vanita was discussing it. Go and listen what we were discussing there. Then you'll see and understand what we were discussing, and go and listen to that and understand the crux of the matter there. It's quite important. If you do not understand, it's probably best to get hold of immigration or to get hold of an immigration advisor on that point. So, does New Zealand accept SA driver's license? Natasha, yes, for 1 year. You're allowed to drive in your South African driver's license here, but why would you want to do that? Go and get yourself a New Zealand driver's license. They look beautiful. So, and it takes 5 minutes, really. It really takes 5 minutes. Chris is saying, I am the owner of a dealership in SA for 10 years. I'll be able to get a job in the motor industry. Quite a few dealership owners, if it's motor dealership owners, I've spoken to already, and most of them are South African. So some of them get jobs as salesmen or not as managers. Some do eventually become managers. I know a few of them who was managers and who is managers. So at the end of the day, it's basically a 2-year period that you got to take a step back, not necessarily a step back in salary, but to just take a step back and work for those 2 years until they see what are in you, and then thereafter your road for the future is open to you. Samantha asking, how difficult is it to change the visa with conditions should you want to change employment? Somebody in Auckland has just done that now. They were employed in South Island, moved to Auckland, something went wrong with the first job, moved into the second job, and it took them about 8 weeks. It took them about 8 weeks. I will eventually try and get them to share their story with us. It's quite a story for you guys to hear, but I'm just waiting for them to get everything, all their ducks in a row now. So they're just waiting on the final things. Oh yeah, the visas did come through, but it was about 6 to 8 weeks that it to move between the one visa to the other visa, and they were not allowed to work on that period of time. So just keep that in mind. If you move between visas, you could be asked not to work. So that could be a bit of these things, a bit of money needed to survive for that period of time. And if you need to survive for 6 weeks in New Zealand, you've got to need about between $6,000 odd there just to do that. Shauna's saying studying at uni is not free till you have had residency for 3 years. So that is 1 year after PR. So after that, I think it's the first year that they give for free. I don't know why they give the first year for free. I would rather say give the last year for free. Get them to really bring their side for 2 years or 3 years, and then give them the last year for free. But the other thing about studying here is you can get a no interest loan from government, and this will mean you can pay that back over 10-year or whatever period, and there's no interest on that. So just another way to give them a kickstart there. Melanie Kriya says, so just for clarity, once you have residency, are universities for free no matter the age? Yep, a residency for 3 years, Melanie. That's the thing. Thereafter, it's not totally free. Still some cost there, but you don't pay the international fees. International fees is quite hectic. I spoke to somebody the other day, 300,000 rand for 6 months on their specific, I think it was a diploma or something that they studied here. So, yep. That's our time is nearly up this morning. Any other questions you guys have out there? Any other stuff that's worrying you? Christmas is around the corner, and I know in South Africa there's a lot of shopping going on. So one thing about New Zealand, I don't find the malls being that busy this time of year. It's quite weird. The beaches becomes very busy. Your parking becomes scarce next to the beaches. You struggle to find parking. This is the one thing that's a bit irritating of this time of the year. And then for those who've got kids out there, the whole of January is a public holiday for the kids. So if you want to fool your kids to come to New Zealand, tell them the whole of January you can be at the beach. So, and it's safe. Kids can be out at the beach if they can look after themselves in the water. They probably won't have a big problem there. So that's my story, guys and girls. Next week, if all goes well, we won't have a guest next week, but next week I'm going to talk about life and death in New Zealand. I think it's time that we touch this subject, and it's time that we really speak to each other about what happens if we die in New Zealand. So something that's always at the back of everybody's mind, or we would believe that is at the back of everybody's mind. So that'll be our topic for next week. Keep that in mind. And as soon as Facebook has fixed this camera problem, we'll get Shauna back on here. Shauna, that's a promise from my side, and thank you for your willingness to help the South Africans out there. One or two other things just quickly. Surin asking, is Black Friday shopping big here? A lot of New Zealanders shop online. I've seen there's a lot of Black Friday, how can you say that, advertisements out there. So, yep, that is out there. But perhaps I should pop into a few stores on Friday and see what it's all about and see how crazy it is, and if it is even crazy. I know the previous Black Friday we were here was about a year ago. There was not a lot going on, So to be quite frank on that, it didn't faze me at all, that Black Friday. But perhaps this year, perhaps somebody's got a lot of more money out there and they want to do a lot of specials on Black Friday. Other thing about New Zealand, there's always a special going on somewhere. All right, keep this in mind. There's always a special going on somewhere. If there's a public holiday, they will have Labor Day specials. If they will have mid-winter specials. And I'm not talking about the average 5% down as you guys, or as we knew it in South Africa. I'm talking about 50 to 60% down on price. Really, this is absolutely crazy. You can't believe the previous week you walked into and saw this high prices, and now suddenly it's half the price. That happens, and the week after it's back to normal price, and then they have another special. So and the specials is really, there's even a guard dog here, or a body that looks and see, is this special really? Is this the special that they are offering? Is this not just another advertising trick, or is this a real special? And if it's not a real special, they get fined. I've heard about a car place that told everybody they're going to do, I think, 30% discount or something crazy like that, and eventually just put $5 off their price, off their normal price. And they were caught out, and they had a massive fine. So one of those things, they don't take their chances, or not everybody do take their chances, because they get watched here. Guys and girls, that's me all the way from Welcome Bay. My name is Viljoen. Lovely morning out there. I'm going to show you quickly outside while we're waiting for Facebook to run out. As you can see, there's a bit of haze all around, and that is all part of the Australian bushfires. So that is what's fire doing to a country that doesn't even have fires. All right, have a lovely day, and I'll speak to you all next week, same time, same place. Thanks, Shauna.